Condo lay is a rig-to-door operation and is used when the apparatus can't get close enough to the point of entry to pull crosslays, or when you need multiple lines pulled from one 2.5-inch line. A condo lay is essentially like constructing a horizontal standpipe. Here, the number 3 firefighter demonstrates their role during condo lay. When the air brake sets, they perform their exit procedures before exiting the rig. The equipment needed here is an SCBA with a full bottle and 2.5-inch hose. As they respond towards the scene, they should be conducting a size up of the structure. This will help them know how much hose they'll need prior to exiting the apparatus. In this case, it's more than what we have in the crosslays, so number 3 will begin to pull out the 2.5 from the supply bed. Number 3 steps onto the tailboard and begins to determine how much hose to pull. Here you see him separating out 50-foot sections. Our hose beds are 7.5 feet deep, so one loop of hose equals 15 feet. In order to get a 50-foot section of 2.5-inch hose, you need a little more than 3 loops. 3 loops is approximately 45 feet. You also saw him identify and pull out the loop attached to the 150-foot coupling. This way he can keep the bundle on his shoulder while reaching up to grab the loop from the ground before moving towards the point of entry. In this evolution, the number 3 firefighter decides to put 100 feet of 2.5-inch hose on their shoulder, and then they'll drag another 50 feet of 2.5 to get away from the rig. If there are obstructions near the rig, though, he'll need to pull all the hose and put it on his shoulder. So he makes a bundle with 100 feet and places it on his shoulder with the gated Y on the bottom, and returns to the rig to grab the additional 50-foot coupling. Before he makes his way to the point of entry, he reminds the engineer to break his line when he tells them. He'll keep the hose on his shoulder until he begins to feel slack come out of the line. Once he feels tension on the stack, then he can start to drop some loops off. When he is certain he has enough hose to get to the point of entry, he can tell the engineer to break the line. Once the 2.5-inch is flaked out, number 3 tells the engineer to charge the 2.5. After calling for water to the 2.5, number 3 takes over hose pack ops from number 4. Number 3 steps inside the hose pack, performs nozzle checks, and calls for water. The hose pack is designed to charge in a circle around the firefighter, so it's important to stay inside it while it charges. After getting water to the nozzle, number 3 performs a PPT. Refer to the engine SOG for how to properly perform a PPT. After performing the PPT, number 3 is ready for entry procedures. When both firefighters have done their safety check on each other, making sure there's no skin exposed and no missing PPE, they're ready to make entry. Refer to the engine SOG for entry procedures. Number 3 stays in the ready position as number 4 opens the door in case fire begins to show when the door is open and the flow path is changed. From here, the firefighters perform an interior attack.